The day was already a nightmare before it truly began. As I opened my eyes to the intrusive daylight, I could feel the staleness of my own breath. I was waking up not only to the physical day but also to the daunting challenges that awaited me. My name is Alex, and that day a symphony of misfortunes was waiting to unfold. I could feel the arduous weight of dread and anxiety twisting my insides, making it hard for me to move or even breathe. My mind was caught in a whirlpool of negative emotions and expectations. The walls of my bedroom felt like they were closing in on me, amplifying the peculiar throbbing in my head. Every sound was magnified, every light was intensified, and every moment felt like a steep climb uphill. The room was too bright, my sheets were too rough, and the silence of the morning felt too loud. I could almost see the disarray in my life, reflected in the misplaced items strewn across my room. My attempts at normalcy were futile. I tried to go about my day to perform routine tasks, but the mundane seemed insurmountable. Each activity, each interaction, each thought amplified the sense of unease. My breakfast tasted bland, my coffee bitter. My reflection in the mirror seemed foreign. It was off-kilter, and I was the fulcrum struggling to balance it. As the day waned, my energy dwindled, and my hopes of finding peace evaporated. I felt the invisible chains of my thoughts pulling me deeper into the abyss of despair and loneliness. Exhausted, I lay down, hoping to escape the relentless chaos of my thoughts. As I drifted off, a peculiar sensation started swimming within me. A sense of awareness, unlike anything I'd experienced before, engulfed me in its grip. My body felt weightless, my thoughts detached and scattered, as if I was on the verge of a sleep, yet remained tethered to the conscious world. It was a strange, echo-like state of mind, a strange paradox that had me teetering between the realms of sleep and wakefulness. I felt a gentle tug, pulling me towards an unknown abyss, and then a sudden shock of realization hit me. Looking at myself, at my own body lying there on the bed, lifeless and unmoved, as if I were a detached spectator. I observed my chest, rising and falling softly. Saw the shadows cast by the dim light flickering on my face. My heart pounded like a desperate drummer. In a frantic symphony, I felt a ripple of fear washing over me, a sense of dread that set my nerves on edge. With a blink, the room around me began to dissolve, its familiar contours blurring and melting away like sugar dissolving in a cup of tea. It was as if I was thrust into an alternate universe, an uncanny reality far removed from my own. This was not a dream, but a lucid dream so vivid, so intense that it felt unbearably real. The texture of this dream world startled me, every detail so sharp, so tangible that it sent shivers down my spine, making my shadows, they moved like sentient beings sliding along the walls, whispering dark secrets in the corners. As they danced around me, I felt an unsettling coldness seeping into my bones, chilling my soul. It wrapped around me like an unforgiving winter, reminding me of the uncanny reality I now found myself in. Shadows moved with a life of their own, and an unsettling coldness wrapped around me. In this twisted universe, everything was a distorted echo of my life. The reality I had known was distorted, skewed in a nightmarish fashion that bore little resemblance to the world of my memories. The streets that once held familiarity and comfort now evolved into a complex and labyrinthine coil of pathways that stretched into the unknown. These streets I knew, these paths I had tread countless times, they had morphed into an endless maze that taunted my every step with its unyielding complexity and length. Structures and buildings that once stood tall and proud were now hunched and deformed, their once solid structures now leaning ominously, bending towards me with air of oppression and menace. They were no longer the stalwart protectors of the city, but monstrous embodiments of my fears and insecurities, casting long, monstrous shadows that seemed to reach out and touch my very soul. The air, once a comforting friend, was now a thick, heavy fog of whispers and murmurs. Each word, each that reverberated through the air, was like a sharp needle of raw, primal fear pricking my skin, sending chills down my spine. The whispers were not just sounds, they were alive, breathing, drawing energy from my frantic heartbeats. Everywhere I looked, eyes glowed from the gloom, watching me intently. They were filled with an insatiable hunger and a malicious intent that sent shivers of dread coursing through my veins. These eyes, they didn't just see me. They bore into me. looking past flesh and bone to the very essence of my being. I felt an overwhelming sense that something was hunting me, craving my very soul. As I stumbled through this nightmarish landscape, each step felt weightier than the last. The world around me was shrouded in an all-encompassing darkness, a dense fog of fear and uncertainty that clung to every crevice of my mind. Strange and unsettling sights reared their head from the shadows, their true forms hidden beneath the veil of terror. Faceless figures, phantom-like in their existence, reached out me. Their touch was colder than the harshest winter, chilling me down to my very core. Their voices were like the hollow whispers of the wind through a graveyard, each word dripping with a malice that seeped into my soul. They were entities born out of my darkest nightmares, their presence a chilling reminder of the terrors that haunted my subconscious. Memories, once comforting and innocent, turned against me with a vengeance. Each recollection twisted and warped into grotesque parodies of their true form. The laughter of friends became the mocking snarls of beasts. The warm embrace of loved ones morphed into the suffocating grip of monstrous entities. Joyful memories of my childhood were now dripping with malevolence, the innocence long stripped away. The that I once held as a child, the irrational terrors that had been long laid to rest, now resurrected before my very eyes. They took on monstrous forms, their grotesque figures a nightmarish parody of the harmless shadows they once were. They grew and mutated, their grotesque forms a physical embodiment of my deepest fears. And so I continued, dragged deeper into this living horror story. Each moment was more terrifying than the last, with unseen horrors lurking around every corner, threatening to consume me. I was trapped in a world that was both alien and eerily familiar, a nightmarish reflection of my own mind. Each breath felt like a lifeline, each heartbeat a countdown to the unknown. I was in a living horror story, each moment more terrifying than the last. Escape seemed impossible. Each time I made an attempt to break free, the dream tugged at my, pulling me back deeper and deeper into its seemingly boundless abyss. It was as if it had become a relentless force, a nightmarish vortex that refused to release me from its chilling grasp. The sensation was overwhelming, like being swept up in a cruel and never-ending maelstrom of confusion and dread. Each step toward awakening felt like a battle lost, a futile struggle against an unseen adversary that was far beyond my understanding. It was like an invisible entity was burrowing into my mind, distorting the very fabric of my perceptions. The once clear and distinguishable boundaries of reality blurred, morphing into an indistinguishable fog of uncertainty, leaving me to question my own sanity. Was I ever truly awake, or had my mind been ensnared, trapped in a labyrinth of illusions, created some inscrutable force beyond human comprehension? The idea was haunting. The fear of it as palpable as the cold sweat that trickled down my spine. Every moment was a disorienting battle to maintain a grip on my sanity. In the darkest moment, when hope was but a mere ghost of its former self, I stumbled upon a shocking revelation. The horrors that lurked in the shadows, the grotesque monsters that slithered in the corners of my vision, they were not foreign invaders. They were born from me, birthed the recesses of my subconscious, a manifestation of my deepest, most clandestine fears. To escape, I realized, wasn't to run or to hide, but to confront these apparitions. To stand tall, look into the eyes of my nightmares, the terrifying embodiments of my own insecurities and fears, and see them for what they truly were. They were not invincible demons conjured up by some external entity, but mere shadows. Shadows born out of the dark corners of my own mind, of my own creation. Waking up, drenched in sweat but alive, I felt reborn. The night had been a tumultuous one, filled with dreams that were so vivid I could barely distinguish them from reality. My heart pounded in my chest like a war drum, my breaths coming in ragged gasps, as if I had just ran a marathon. But despite the adrenaline coursing through my veins, there was an overwhelming sense of relief. This was no ordinary dream. This was a journey that took me through the darkest corners of my soul. It was as if I had plunged into the deepest ocean, where light was swallowed by the abyss and the creatures of the night thrived. The terror was palpable, so real that I could taste it on my tongue, feel it prickling at my skin, yet Through it all, it revealed a truth that had been buried within me. Despite the nightmares that had haunted me, I found something in the darkness. I found a strength that I never knew existed, a resilience that was at the core of my being. Amidst the fear, my spirit had risen like a phoenix from the ashes, burning brighter than ever before. I learned that there was no monster in the shadows that could conquer me. I was the master of my own fate, the ruler of my own soul. My experience, though harrowing, was a testament to it was a trial by fire, a rite of passage that solidified my resolve. It was a journey that showed me the depths of my fears and the vast expanse of my courage. After such a revelation, I knew I was stronger than I had ever been. There was a newfound sense of freedom. Never again would I be a prisoner of my own mind. This is my story, but it echoes a truth we all face. It's a tale crafted from the fabric of dreams and the substance of reality, intertwined in such a way as to create a reflection of our collective human existence. I invite you to embark on this journey with me in Echoes of the Dreaming Dark, an epic narrative series that delves into the depths of what it means to dream, to hope, to fear, and to love. Is there captivating about hearing my story whispered on the sidelines of dreams? Does it resonate with your own experiences, or does it open up unfamiliar pathways in your mind? If so, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button. By doing so, you're not only supporting this series, but also ensuring that you won't miss out on any new chapter of this odyssey. From tales of the mysteries of the night to stories of love and loss that happen under the sunlight, promise to bring you a fresh, fascinating narrative every day. However, this journey is not just about me and my dreams, it's also about you and your stories. So, I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment, share your own dreamscapes, your hopes, your fears, and I eagerly await the opportunity to delve into your unique narratives and understand the world through your eyes. I'm looking forward to reading them.